So today we are going to discuss of your first chapter from your chemistry textbook, which is a textbook from SINT Textbook Board. And as we have already discussed before, that from Unit 1 till Unit 10 we are going to study in Grade 9. So have a look at the content of Unit 1, that is Introduction to Chemistry. The first question arises in this chapter is that define chemistry and describe its importance. So as you can see, here's a definition which is mentioned, and the definition of chemistry is the branch of science which deals with the study of composition, properties and structure of matter along with chemical changes involved in it, and the laws governing these changes is called chemistry. So first of all, to understand this definition, we must know what is matter. So matter is anything that have mass and occupy space, and the common examples of matter, as you all know, are states of matter, which are solid, liquid and gas. So composition means that how something is made or composed of. Like for example, if you're going to make something, what are the main ingredients are required to make that specific thing. Like for example, if you're going to make a sugar syrup, then you need sugar and water for it. So the composition of sugar syrup is sugar and water, and what can be the properties of that kind of syrup or any other thing that you are like preparing or composing. It can be sweet in taste, it can be sour in taste, and how it looks like, what is the structure of that thing. So these all things we study in our chemistry field, and along with the chemical changes, and also we study about the laws that actually govern these changes. So this all make up chemistry. Basically, matter is the most important thing, because we are going to study about matter. We are going to study the composition of matter, we are going to study properties of matter, we are going to study about the structure of matter, and also the changes that are involved. Now have a look at importance of chemistry. So chemistry enables us to design all sorts of materials, like drugs to fight a disease, pesticides to protect our health and crops, fertilizers to grow our crops for abundant food, fuels for transportation, fibers to provide comfort, variety in clothes, and a lot of other things. Chemistry also helps us to understand the nature of our environment and about ourselves. The theories of chemistry help us to understand the material world, from tiny atom to giant galaxies. So basically, these all are the importance of chemistry, the role of chemistry basically. So chemistry plays a very important role in our life. The medicines that we use to treat our diseases, basically these are drugs. These are actually provided by the chemistry thing. Pesticides that we use to protect, or our farmers use to protect, to like protect their crops. This is also included in the importance of chemistry. Fertilizers, the same thing, to grow for crops, like pesticides to protect crops. The same way, fertilizers also provided to grow the crops for abundant food, so that the quantity of food must be good and of good quality. Fuel that we use for our like transportation is also enable us to design our life easy. Fibers to provide comfort, variety in clothes, and a lot of other things that we use in our life Chemistry also helps to understand the nature of our environment and about ourselves as well. The system, the body system, the mechanism, or the other chemical things that going inside our body. By the help of chemistry, we are able to understand all these things, and also the theories of chemistry, which are actually you will study in your further chapters. These actually help us to understand this material world, from tiny atom to giant galaxies. Like, as we have already discussed about the structure of atom, how a matter is created, and what kind of matter is, and how atom having a structure of including nucleus, inside which proton and neutron are found, and around the nucleus there are orbits in which electron basically rotates. So this all information is provided by the field of chemistry. Now have a look at landmarks in the history of chemistry. So the question arises that describe the historical development of chemistry. So historical development of chemistry consists of following three periods. The first period is the Greek period, second is the Muslim period, while third is the modern period. So if we are going to discuss about history of chemistry, so we will discuss the Greek period first. In the Greek period, there were Greek philosophers named as Plato, Aristotle, and Democritus. And what role they have played in their Greek period is that they introduced the concept of element, atom, and chemical reactions that we actually study currently. And they thought that all matter was derived from four elements, that is earth, air, fire, and water. And they considered that earth was dry and cold, air was cold, wet, and hot, fire was hot and dry, water was cold, hot, and wet. That was the concept that these three philosophers had given in the Greek period. So it was the developmental phase of chemistry field, and after this concept we get to know about a lot of things in the chemistry field. After Plato, Aristotle, and Democritus, there were Romans. So let's have a look what Romans have played their role. The Romans developed the chemical arts still further. They improved the metallurgical processes and introduced the enameling of pottery. They developed little theoretical knowledge in this regard, and their works were all empirical. So this all happened in the Greek period. Romans actually improved the metallurgical processes, and the enameling process was also developed in their phase. They also developed little theoretical knowledge in this regard, and their works were all empirical. Then after this Greek period, the Muslim period started. The Muslim period was from 600 to 1600, and as you can see here, AD is written, and in the previous thing BC was written in the period time. These are basically the systems that are used by Christians. Like, for example, BC stands for before Christ, before the birth of Jesus, that is according to their religion. And AD applied to the years following the birth of Jesus. So this is all period phases according to their Christianity religion. So here 600 to 1600 AD phase, it in the history of chemistry, the Muslim period was between these years, and this period was known as period of alchemists as well. The modern scientific knowledge is based on the contribution of these Muslim scholars. So the first Muslim scholar is Jabir bin Hayyan that we are going to discuss about, and the phase is 721 to 803 AD. He is generally known as the father of alchemy, founder of chemistry. You must know all these important key points about these Muslim scientists, as they can come as MCQs as well, that is multiple choice questions in your board exam. He built the first ever chemical laboratory. So the question can be like asked like that: who is the father of or founder of chemistry? And you must know that Jabir bin Hayyan is considered as founder of chemistry, and also he built the first ever chemical laboratory. And the achievements of Jabir bin Hayyan includes that he invented experimental methods for preparation of nitric acid, that is HNO3, hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, and sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4. Second is he discovered white lead, that is Pb. Third is he also developed methods for the extraction of metals from their ores. You will study about this extraction in detail in your further units. He also developed methods of dyeing clothes. The way you actually go to a dyeing shop, and the dyer dyes your clothes or stolers. So the method of dyeing was actually developed by Jabir bin Hayyan. He was the first one and a Muslim scientist. He developed method of distillation. He also developed many laboratory apparatus. Apparatus includes that he used, for example, a test tube, a burette, a conical flask. What are all these considered? These are considered as laboratory apparatus. Second Muslim scholar in the Muslim period that we are going to discuss about is Al-Razi. 862 till 930 AD was the period in which he had worked. Al-Razi was a physician, alchemist, a philosopher, and an expert surgeon as well. And the achievements of Al-Razi were that he was an expert surgeon and was the first to use opium as anesthesia. And you must know that what is opium. Opium is basically a very highly addictive drug which slows down the messages that are traveling between your brain and body, and it is basically used as anesthesia for medicinal purpose. Second achievement of Al-Razi includes he divided the substances into living and non-living origins. So the division now we know currently is because of Al-Razi. He determined the specific gravities of different things. Also, as he was a physician, that's why he played the role to determine the specific gravities of different things as well. Al-Razi prepared ethyl alcohol by the fermentation of sugar. Ethyl alcohol is also known as ethanol, and the formula of ethanol is C2H5OH, basically having 2 carbons in their formula and 6 hydrogen with an attachment of oxygen. And ethyl alcohol is a very flammable chemical, and it is colorless. It is having no color, and also a very important industrial chemical that is used as a solvent. Those chemicals which are not dissolved in water, we use ethanol to dissolve them. And lastly, he classified compounds into 4 groups, that is minerals, botanical, zoological, and the derived ones. The study of plants is included in botanical field, while the study of animals is included in zoological field. Next Muslim scholar is Al-Biruni. The period in which he had worked is from 973 to 1048 AD. He contributed a lot in physics, metaphysics, mathematics, geography, and history. As you all know that physics is the natural science that studies about matter, its motion and behavior through space and time, and also related to energy and force. While metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that deals with the abstract theory which have no basis in reality, while mathematics is the science of number and quantity, while geography is the field of science in which we study about lands, inhabitants and the phenomena of the earth and planets, and in the last, history is the study of the past. So basically, Al-Biruni contributed in all these fields of science, and the achievements include that he determined the densities of different substances. He worked on 18 precious stones and metals. Next Muslim scholar is Ibn Sina. Ibn Sina was famous for his contribution in different fields, and achievements were that he contributed in medicinal chemistry, philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy. And in the field of astronomy, we actually study about moon, planet, stars, and about galaxies. He actually also studied the properties of minerals. So these were the two achievements by Ibn Sina. So in this Muslim period, now have a look at the direction of research of Muslim scientists. These Muslim alchemists were interested more in finding a way to prolong life and to convert base metals like lead, copper into gold, but they couldn't do so. Their researches led to the discoveries of many substances and laid the foundation of chemistry. Many important reagents like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrosulfuric acid, silver nitrate, and so on, like etc. A lot of other chemicals than these four were discovered by Muslim scientists. Chemists of that period, however, devoted their energies mainly to the production of drugs for the use of medicines. So now we all know that what was their direction and their thinking related to the research in their like time phases or periods, and what they have contributed in the field of chemistry during their specific periods. Now the third and last period that we are going to discuss is the modern period from 1600 AD and onward. Name of scientists' contribution in chemistry includes the first one is Robert Boyle, 1627 till 1691 AD. He is known as the father of modern chemistry, and the contribution of Robert Boyle includes he was the first to put forward the idea that chemistry should be regarded as a systematic investigation of nature with the sole aim of promoting knowledge. His definition of elements is quite near to the modern definition. He was the first chemist to isolate and collect a gas. He formulated a gas law which is known as Boyle's law. He showed that air is absorbed in the process of combustion and that only one part of air, oxygen, is necessary for breathing. So the main contribution of Robert Boyle that you all must know is that he passed a gas law named as Boyle's law. The next scientist that we are going to discuss about is J. Black, and his contribution includes that he made a study of carbon dioxide, that is CO2, which is a gas. Third is J. Priestley, and the contribution includes that he discovered oxygen, sulfur dioxide, that is SO2, di means 2. Oxygen, if present in di form, then it is considered as dioxide, and hydrogen chloride, that is HCl. Next is Scheele, and the contribution includes that he discovered chlorine. Chlorine is a gas, and it is a yellow-green colored gas at room temperature, and the basic use of chlorine is to kill bacteria, and it is used to treat our drinking water and swimming pool water as well. Cavendish, his contribution includes that he discovered hydrogen. As you all know, hydrogen is the first element of our periodic table, and capital H is the symbol of hydrogen gas. Lavoisier, his contribution includes that he discovered oxygen, which constituted about 1/5 of our air, and he also improved the chemical balance that we use in our chemical labs. Next is John Dalton, and the contribution includes that he proposed his atomic theory of matter. He also gave the concept of atomic weight. So what we get to know about John Dalton, that he gave the concept of atomic weight, that is mass, and the atomic theory of matter was proposed by John Dalton. Gay-Lussac, and his contribution includes that he discovered relationship between volume of given mass of gas and temperature. Well, Gay-Lussac had worked with Dulong and Pettit, and the contribution includes for these three scientists is that they led to determination of relative atomic and molecular masses of many substances. The masses that we currently discuss are basically determined by these three. Berzelius, the contribution includes he devised the chemical symbols of elements, formula, and chemical equation. He determined atomic masses of many elements. Next scientist of modern period is Mendeleev. 1824 till 1907 AD was the period in which he did his work, and the contribution includes that he arranged all the known elements periodically in a table known as Mendeleev's table. As I have already told you about this, Mendeleev's table helps in the study of properties of elements and discovery of new elements. Next scientist that we are going to discuss about is Arrhenius. The contribution includes that he put forward the ionic theory, and according to that Arrhenius ionic theory of solution, certain substances produce freely moving ions when they dissolve in water, and the main purpose of these ions is that they will conduct electric current in this solution. Next scientist is Faraday, and the contribution includes that he examined the effect of electricity on solutions. He also presents the laws of electrolysis. And what is electrolysis? Basically, ionic substances are decomposed into simpler substances by passing electric current through their solutions that contain ions. Henry Becquerel, the contribution includes that he discovered radioactivity and discovered polonium and radium. J.J. Thomson, the contribution includes discovered negatively charged particle electron that you all know, as we have already discussed about the structure of an atom. He discovered alpha and beta rays as well. Well, alpha rays are emitted by alpha radiations, and these are used for the treatment of cancer, while beta rays is actually the emission of electrons or positrons. Rutherford contribution includes he discovered nucleus. As you all know, it is in the structure of atom, and he gave model of atomic structure. And the last scientist is Niels Bohr, and his contribution includes that he gave his structure of atomic model and removed defects in Rutherford's atomic model. So now you all know about the three periods, and you must learn contribution of all of these scientists, as these contributions are commonly asked in your board exams. So prepare yourself accordingly. must learn all these question answers that we have discussed in today's lecture. Good luck.